In the previous video we looked at Linnworks Mobile and how to configure tray picking. In this video we'll be looking at the practicality of how you go about completing a pick wave and scanning your items into trays. So if we go over to Linnworks.net now, you can see that we're in the general settings screen. I have forced tray scan enabled with an order type control method. I have a barcode prefix set up of tray, so all my trays we will expect the barcode being scanned to start with the word tray. I also have a force bin rack scan enabled, which isn't required, but as I'm in a WMS location, it has been enabled. If we look at our pick waves, you can see I have this pick wave 3184. I have two orders in this pick wave, and each of them have 2 items. One of the items is in both orders as well. As you can see, they're both currently unpicked. So if we close that and then look into Linnworks Mobile, you can see the pick wave screen that's set up with directional pick waves and show next item only, as well as all the tote and tray scanning requirements. So it's saying I have to pick this item. It's in bin rack AN004. So the bin rack has been successfully scanned. It's also saying now I must scan a tote ID. So my tote ID 1. And now it's saying that it's ready to pick this item. If you had force item scan enabled, then you would have to scan the item barcode for it to be recognized, but I don't have that enabled, so I'm just going to click pick. Here you can see that we have a new window that has popped up, and this is the tray scan window. So you can see it's telling me the order ID for the order, and it's saying that it wants to put one of these items into a tray. So my trays will start with the barcode tray. So now I'm going to scan tray 1, and it picks that item, and if we go back we can see that it's put the item into tray 1. So if we move on to the next product now, this is for a different item, it's in the same bin rack. So if we scan that item, we get another window pop up saying shoe 7, order ID 106364. If we hop back to our pick wave screen, we can see that we're now picking for this order, and the previous item that we picked, shoe 5, has been put into tote 1, tray 1, and it's saying it's partially picked. So if we now try and put this in tray 1, we'll get an error because tray 1 is being used by a different order. So if we now put in tray 2, it will pick the item. So now we have the circumstance where we have to pick 2 of these items, and they're actually for 2 different orders. So we'll start off by scanning the bin rack. We still have our tote selected. So now if we click pick, it knows that we have to pick 2 of these items. So the first one it's saying is for order 363. Order 363. And because we already have an item from this order picked into tray 1, it's suggesting that we put it in tray 1. We'll just click next. And now we have another item, and it's suggesting we put it into tray 2 because it's 106364. And if we close this pick wave and open it again, we can see that that previous item 106364 has been put into tray 2. So the suggestion is to put it into tray 2. For instance, let's say that tray 2 is particularly small and it doesn't fit. We could now put it into tray 3. And that picks the item and completes the pick wave. So if we go back to our pick wave, we'll see that we have in the first order both items have been put into tray 1, and in the second order we have an item in tray 2 and an item in tray 3. Just as a further example, we're going to take a quick look at order item based tray scanning. So this is the same pick wave, and we'll do the same thing again. We'll scan the bin rack, we'll scan the tote, and then we'll pick this first item into tray 1. This second item will do the same thing, and this time we'll pick this into tray 2. So here we'll have shoe 6, which is in both orders. If we scan the bin rack, as it's in a different bin rack, and then pick this item, you'll see that we no longer have a suggestion for tray 1 here, and if we try and put in tray 1 we'll get an error because it's being used for a different order item. Similarly, if we try and put it in tray 2 we'll get the same error because it's already in use by another order item. So now we'll have to put this in tray 3, and the second item, which is in the other order, we'll have to put in tray 4. And now if we go back to Linnworks and we just give this a quick refresh, you can see that now we have to have exclusivity between order items. So we have tray 1 and 3 here, tray 2 and 4 here.